I always assume whatever you told me is probably not the case. I'm not ordering it, bringing it to the table just to get it for free. So you ask for the bill, assuming they're going to say, no, this is on us. You still ask. Now, when you ask and they say that, you say thank you, and then they walk away. Then when you get up to leave, you go over to them and you slip them a huge tip. That is the problem I have. Two extra people not even asking for a bill and not giving a tip. She left without a tip. She dined and dashed. By the way, you don't know what the bill is if it's comped, right? So, but all that food, $1,000 plus two, $1,200, it should have been $240 each. For me, I think you give a $500 tip on that. $100 each. You just ate and drank $100 each. The server makes 500. You leave. It's disgusting. It's entitled. It is classless. And I don't want to call Sonja trash. I don't, but this is trash. This is an actual trash bag behavior. And the owner makes it very clear she is banned at the restaurant. All the non-famous people that were there tonight, all of you guys that are going to New York that want to try this place, you will be welcome because you will sit down, you will not be famous, and you will pay for your meal. That is what is welcome. Who wants these F-list celebrities? It's a nightmare. So Sonja has learned nothing since being fired from the show, thinking it was free. I am right. Can you imagine? Can you imagine 5 people and you think it's comped and you don't leave a fucking tip? It's disgusting. And I'm about to see fucking that hyena, not to be confused with the animal across the river. The hyena, you guys know who that hyena is. Ramona, the Singa-Stinga. I see this Singa-Stinga all summer, last summer. Oh, I sit down, there she is. You got to give it to her. I see her out in the Hamptons all summer. She pays. Yes, she has money, and the other one doesn't. It doesn't matter. Say what you want about Ramona. She might be an awful person for all sorts of reasons. Ramona pays. She pays. You got to give it to her. Now, Andy Cohen, I got to tell you, Andy Cohen has basically doubled down on the fact that New Jersey is canceled and is over, and Real Housewives of Rhode Island is replacing it. I did a show on Sunday. You all listen. I talked about the cancellation of New Jersey, RHONJ, a wife swap with the Gorgas, how Teresa won't be, and I said since that show, David, were you too harsh? Were you too harsh? Like, New Jersey isn't part of the lineup. Dolores has come out and said, she was so upset at Janet, Dave and Buster's the bear, and she's like, and we're canceled. So Dolores has basically confirmed it. Andy's talking about Rhode Island, saying it's giving Jersey a run for its money. I'm like, maybe I was too harsh. Maybe I was too harsh. Maybe Jersey is coming back, even though we have Rhode Island. Well, Andy has now gone and doubled down. So Andy Cohen, I believe this was at the upfronts, this interview has surfaced that he was, and I really felt maybe I was too harsh on Sunday. So it was at the upfronts, and there's a reporter who's asking him some questions. What's new? And he says, well, we just announced the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And we have a full cast. It's done. Like, I didn't realize it's truly cast already. And I mean, I've been saying, because people have been slipping into my DMs since February. I've done the shows. As soon as I started getting the DMs, I'm like, oh my God, that's an Italian American. Oh my God, that's an Italian American. I put 2 and 2 together. I don't really think anyone has truly said it, that these are all Italian Americans, except for me. Well, Andy has said it. He said, oh, Rory's great. It's a bunch of Italian American women. And the reporter basically, pushed back, and she's like, okay, well, Italian American women, that sounds like Jersey. Let me find my actual notes here. So, she's like, well, that sounds just like Jersey to me. And Andy's like, okay. And she's like, well, I mean, there's an Italian Americans in Jersey. So why Rhode Island? Why are we doing this in Rhode Island? And Andy's like, Well, the cast has known each other forever. It's a very tight knit cast. So I think Andy is being so strategic. He's saying it's a tight knit cast. To me, that's like your way of saying, I know New York City failed because Aaron never knew Cy, and Cy never knew Jenna, and Jenna never knew Uba, and Uba never knew Bryn. She's probably happy she didn't know Bryn. So Andy's saying, well, we chose Rhode Island because it's such a small state and it's such a tight knit cast. They all know each other and they all overlap. So he's addressing the RHONJ problem subconsciously, and he's very smart and very calculated. And then the reporter says, okay, well, a group of Italian American women, that sounds like Jersey. And he's like, oh boy. And then she says, well, why Rhode Island? He's like, well, it's a great group of Italian women. Well, that sounds like Jersey. Anything else? Any other reason? He's like, well, I mean, Rhode Island, it's really coastal. It's very coastal. There's a lot of beaches. And the reporter says, isn't New Jersey really coastal? For everyone who's in New Jersey or from New Jersey, there's a lot of beaches. So Andy's basically saying it's a coastal town just like Jersey. It's a bunch of Italian Americans just like Jersey. And the reporter's like, this sounds just like Jersey. Now, I thought I was being too harsh and saying, oh, it's definitely canceled. Seems like Andy is doubling down on this. Now, all of that aside, this reporter, I got to find out who she is. She's really shady. She said, well, at least this time, have you done a better job, like, with like the background checks and like basically like making sure that there's no criminals in the mix? She didn't say criminal. She said, have you done background checks this time to make sure nobody is doing anything illegal? Well, obviously, she's referring to the woman with the criminal record, the animal across the river, Teresa. Andy was like, now. I think he knew this reporter. He's like, now. And she's like, well, I would assume that like this is like a VP selection, like you vet people very thoroughly. And Andy said, look, as the franchise has evolved, so has the background checks. Meaning, yes, we've checked into everyone thoroughly. Listen, it's really hard because reality TV attracts a certain type of outgoing person and, people that take risks. So, but this reporter was really shady. But here he is basically saying it's Italian Americans, it's a coastal town. And the reporter's like, how are we going to have Rhode Island and New Jersey? It sounds like the exact same thing to me. So I feel this is just double down. You mean to tell me Rhode Island's going to come on and air and then it's going to be over and we're going to have the exact same group of Italian Americans in New Jersey? I call bullshit. I think he just doubled down. Now, there is this casting notice going around. Teresa is in literally like the 5 stages of grief here in the denial stage. There is this casting notice going around that, some casting companies looking for fabulous New Jersey families in New Jersey where it's like the matriarch is strong and everybody has gone crazy and said, this sounds like Housewives to me. Someone told me Melissa posted it on her Instagram. I haven't seen that and I don't know if that's really true. But I heard that Teresa is going around. This is from a pretty reliable